Next on BGSU's Brain Game, it is North Baltimore versus St. Francis. This could be an intense intellectual inferno. Only one team can leave victorious. Who is it going to be? Only one way to find out. BGSU's Brain Game starts right now. And welcome to BGSU's Brain Game. It is North Baltimore versus St. Francis. Let's meet our teams. St. Francis, tell us who you are.
I'm Anthony Felbo. I'm a senior. This is Frank Schuster, junior, and this is Devin Allen, senior.
Welcome to St. Francis, and your coach is?
This is Haley Sharp.
Welcome to you. And North Baltimore, tell us who you are.
I'm Brendan. I'm a senior. This is Gabe. He's a senior. This is Garrett. He's a freshman, and we're coached by Mallory Huffman.
All right, welcome to both of our teams and their coaches. We are starting off with our toss-up round. All questions in this round are worth 10 points. No deduction for an incorrect answer, so have some fun in this round. You may confer before buzzing in, and you can steal a question in this round. St. Francis, North Baltimore, your toss-up round starts right now. What theory in modern physics explains how subatomic particles move? That would be St. Francis. Devin.
Quantum.
Quantum theory, yes. Name the verb tense in the following sentence. By tomorrow morning, he will have been gone for a month. That would be St. Francis. Frank again.
Past.
More specific, please.
Past possessive.
Incorrect. North Baltimore, would you like to steal? That would be Garrett.
Past tense.
Incorrect. Future perfect progressive. On a line graph, which characteristic of the line can be described as the rate of change? That would be North Baltimore. Brendan.
Slope.
Slope is what we were looking for there. Because these produce proteins, these particles are often, that would be St. Francis. Frank.
Ribosomes.
Ribosomes, yes. Although adequate vitamin D aids the body in absorbing calcium, which gland produces the hormone calcitonin that aids, that would be North Baltimore. Brendan.
Pituitary gland.
Incorrect. That aids in its long-term storage in the body. This gland is most often associated with metabolism. St. Francis, would you like to steal?
Endocrine gland.
Anthony.
Endocrine gland.
Incorrect. Thyroid. How many objects are in a baker's dozen? North Baltimore. Brendan.
13.
13, yes. In the Appalachian Mountains of the eastern United States, which peak located in North Carolina, North Baltimore? Brendan.
Pikes Peak.
Incorrect. Is the highest at 6,684 feet. It is also the highest peak east of the Mississippi River. St. Francis, would you like to steal? That would be Devin.
Lookout Mountain.
Incorrect. Mount Mitchell. Classify the following sentence as simple, compound, complex, or compound complex. If it rains today, the team will change its practice site to the gym. North Baltimore. Brendan.
Compound complex.
Incorrect. St. Francis, would you like to steal? That would be Frank.
Compound.
Incorrect. Complex is what we were looking for there. Just as planned, after a remarkable 20-year journey orbiting Saturn and returning photos to NASA scientists, this spacecraft disintegrated in the atmosphere. North Baltimore. Gabe.
Juno.
Incorrect. Disintegrated in the atmosphere over the ringed planet in September 2017. What was the name of this amazing orbiter? St. Francis, stealing opportunity. That would be Anthony.
Voyager.
Incorrect. Cassini. Cassini is what we needed there. Which British writer penned Northanger Abbey, Emma, and Mansfield Park? North Baltimore. Garrett.
William Shakespeare.
Incorrect. St. Francis, stealing opportunity.
Thomas Hardy.
No, Jane Austen is what we needed there. Before the advent of telegrams, the Pony Express was able to deliver mail from Missouri to California in just 10 days. Which city served as the eastern terminus of the route? St. Francis. Anthony.
St. Louis.
Incorrect. North Baltimore. That would be Brendan.
Boston.
Incorrect. St. Joseph, Missouri is what we wanted there. With which event in American history would one associate the quote by Franklin D. Roosevelt as, quote, North Baltimore, Brendan?
The Great Depression.
Incorrect. As a, quote, day that would live in, that would be St. Francis. Anthony?
Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor, correct. Older recipes for pound cake comprised 1 pound each of only 4 ingredients. The ingredients were flour, sugar, butter, and blank. St. Francis, Anthony.
Milk.
Incorrect. North Baltimore, stealing opportunity. Garrett.
Salt.
Incorrect. Eggs. In Great Expectations, what is the name of Pip's stepfather, who is a gentle blacksmith married to Pip's domineering sister? That would be Joe Gargery. End of round. Let's take a look at our score. North Baltimore at 20 points, and currently in the lead with just 30 points is St. Francis. A very close competition. You're going to want to stick around because our head-to-head round is coming up next. Stay tuned. And welcome back to BGSU's Brain Game. North Baltimore 20, St. Francis 30 points as we move into our next round. Before we get into the details of that, let's see, I think we see some substitutions here. St. Francis, who's joined your team?
This is Chase Flanagan, the first, junior.
All right, welcome to you. North Baltimore, who's joined your team?
This is Olivia. She's a sophomore.
All right, welcome to you as well. This is our head-to-head round. In this round, there are 15 questions. Both teams will get the same 15 questions. They're worth 10 points apiece, no deduction for an incorrect answer, and they may confer as long as they want, but the clock is ticking. Here's the deal, though. One team will stay in the studio. The other team will go to isolation. Then we flip-flop things. The other team gets a shot at those same 15 questions. Then we will clear the score, and then we will reveal who is in the lead, or if we're tied, whatever's going to happen, it's going to be exciting, I guarantee. North Baltimore, you're going to be sticking around with 20 points. That means St. Francis, you're off to isolation. All right, North Baltimore, are you ready for your 15 head-to-head questions?
Yes.
All right, your round starts right now. Initially, people grew tomatoes as a decorative plant because it was thought to be poisonous. To what plant family does the tomato belong that gave rise to this belief?
Pass.
Buzz in, please.
Pass.
Nightshade. How long is a surveyor's tool known as a rod?
3 feet.
Incorrect, 5.5 yards. Melania Trump immigrated to the United States from where?
Ukraine.
Incorrect, Slovenia. In the Victor Hugo novel, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, who is the hunchback?
Quasimodo.
Correct. This Florentine family, because of its patronage of arts, was largely responsible for the flowering of early and high Renaissance art.
Medici.
Correct. One of the gods' 12 labors included cleaning out the Augean stables. Who is he?
Hercules.
Correct. What is the capital of Rwanda?
Pass.
Kigali. His 2 most famous novels set in the Klondike are The Call of the Wild and White Fang.
Jack London.
Correct. What is the coldest non-Arctic desert?
The tundra.
Incorrect. The Atacama in Chile. What are the smallest particles that physicists know about?
Quarks.
Correct. Which album won the CMA Album of the Year award in 2019?
Summer of 2019.
Incorrect. Girl. What makes a red dwarf star red?
Lack of hydrogen.
Incorrect. Low temperature. This French president took office in 2017.
Pass.
Emmanuel Macron. What is the softest mineral on Earth?
Mica.
Incorrect. Talc. Who wrote the famous words Veni, Vidi, Vici? Veni, Vidi, Vici.
Donald Trump.
Incorrect. Julius Caesar. That is all 15 questions in this round for you, North Baltimore. It is now time for you to go to isolation. And that means it is now time to bring back in St. Francis. All right, St. Francis, are you ready for your 15 head-to-head questions?
Yep.
Yes.
Your round starts right now. Initially, people grew tomatoes as a decorative plant because it was thought to be poisonous. To what plant family does the tomato belong that gave rise to this belief?
Pass.
Nightshade. How long is a surveyor's tool known as a rod?
Meter.
Incorrect, 5.5 yards. Melania Trump immigrated to the United States from where?
Slovenia.
Correct. In the Victor Hugo novel, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, who is the Hunchback?
Quasimodo.
Correct. This Florentine family, because of its patronage of...
Medici.
Correct. One of the gods' 12 labors included cleaning out the...
Hercules.
Correct. What is the capital of Rwanda?
Mombasa.
Incorrect, Kigali. His two most famous novels set in the Klondike are The Call of the Wild and...
Jack London.
Correct. What is the coldest non-Arctic desert?
Mongolian.
Incorrect, the Atacama in Chile. What are the smallest particles that physicists know about?
Quarks.
Correct. Which album won the CMA Album of the Year award in 2019?
Pass.
Girl. What makes a red dwarf star red?
Nitrogen.
Incorrect. Relatively low temperature. This French president took office in 2017. Who is he?
Macron.
Correct. What is the softest mineral on Earth?
Talc.
Correct. Who wrote the famous words Veni, Vidi, Vici?
Caesar.
Correct. That is all 15 questions in the round for you. It is now time to clear our scores, and let's bring back in North Baltimore. All right, teams, it is time to find out where we stand. St. Francis has how many points? 120 points. North Baltimore, you are at 70 points. St. Francis currently in the lead, but anything can happen in our next round is our category round, where questions are worth 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30 points, but our deductions start. If you go for 20, you can lose 20, so anything can happen. You're going to want to stick around for that category round. It's coming up next. And welcome back to BGSU's Brain Game. North Baltimore, 70 points. Currently in the lead with 120 points is St. Francis. Looks like we have some substitutions going into our next round. North Baltimore, who has joined your team?
This is Alex. He's a junior. And this is Garrett. He's a freshman.
All right, welcome to you. St. Francis sticking with your lineup from the last round.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right, this is where that inferno starts to heat up. That's right, we're in the category round now. This is where the power shifts a little bit to our teams. There are 6 categories to choose from. Questions starting at 10, ending at 30. Now, this is where deductions are going to start. If you go for 25, you can lose 25. You may confer before buzzing in, not after, and you can steal a question in this round. North Baltimore, since you are at 70 points, you have the honor of making the first selection.
We'll go with human biology for 20.
Human biology for 20 points. I will describe one of the glands in the endocrine system. You name the gland. Some answers may appear more than once. This gland in the upper chest area helps to develop a child's immune system. Time. Thymus is what we needed there. North Baltimore in control.
The library for 20.
The library for 20 points. Identify the following people, ideas, or things associated with the library. Wealthy U.S. steel baron, that would be St. Francis.
Andrew Carnegie.
Andrew Carnegie is correct. St. Francis takes control.
King Arthur for 10.
King Arthur for 10 points. Name these people and things associated with the Arthurian legend. The king's chief advisor and magician. North Baltimore, Alex.
Merlin.
Merlin is correct. North Baltimore takes back control.
King Arthur for 15.
King Arthur for 15. King Arthur's wife. St. Francis, Anthony.
Lady Guinevere.
Guinevere is correct. St. Francis back in control.
King Arthur for 20.
King Arthur now for 20 points. The name of his magical sword. That would be North Baltimore. Alex.
Excalibur.
Excalibur is correct. North Baltimore back in control.
King Arthur for 25.
King Arthur now for 25 points. The knight who succeeded in his quest for the Holy Grail. North Baltimore, Garrett.
Camelot.
Incorrect. St. Francis, would you like to steal? That would be Devon.
Lancelot.
Incorrect. Sir Galahad is what we wanted there. All right, North Baltimore in control.
We'll finish up King Arthur.
King Arthur for 30 points. Final question. The man who raised Arthur until he pulled the sword out of the stone. Time. That'd be Hector. All right, North Baltimore in control.
I'm the nth president for 20.
I'm the president for 20?
20, yes.
20, okay. I will give you the name of an American president, and you will answer with what number he was. Teddy Roosevelt. North Baltimore, Garrett.
23rd.
Incorrect. St. Francis, would you like to steal? They're saying, you saying no?
No.
26th is what we needed there. North Baltimore in control.
I'm the nth president for 25.
I'm the nth president for 25 points. Donald Trump. That would be North Baltimore. Brendan.
45.
45. 45th. Yes, North Baltimore in control.
Famous scientists for 20.
Famous scientists for 20 points. I will describe the work of a well-known scientist. You will reply with his or her name. What French scientist invented a pendulum that always swings in the same direction but appears to change directions because of the Earth's rotation? That was Foucault. Foucault. North Baltimore in control.
Famous scientists for 25.
Famous scientists for 25 points. This German physicist discovered X-rays in 1895. North Baltimore, Garrett.
Nikolai Tesla.
Incorrect. St. Francis, would you like to steal?
No.
Did you say no?
No.
Röntgen is what we needed there. Röntgen. North Baltimore in control.
Famous scientists for 30.
Famous scientists for 30 points. American astronomer who discovered a comet that was then named after her in 1847. North Baltimore, Brendan.
Haley.
Incorrect. St. Francis, would you like to steal?
No.
They're saying no. Mariah Mitchell is what we were looking for there. North Baltimore, you are still in control.
Intrepid explorers for 20.
Intrepid explorers for 20 points. Name the explorer described. He discovered Hawaii. St. Francis, Anthony.
Cook.
Correct. James Cook. St. Francis in control.
Intrepid Explorers, 10.
Intrepid explorers for 10 points. Though this explorer was not the first to travel to China, he was the first to write a detailed, that would be St. Francis. Anthony.
Marco Polo.
Marco Polo. Yes, St. Francis in control.
Explorers, 15.
Explorers for 15 points. The first European to see the eastern shore of the Pacific Ocean. St. Francis, Anthony.
Balboa.
Balboa, yes.
Explorers, 25.
Explorers now for 25 points. This Norse explorer sailed to Newfoundland in about, that would be St. Francis. Chase.
Leif Erikson.
Leif Erikson, yes. St. Francis in control.
Nth president for 10.
Nth president for 10 points. Abraham Lincoln. St. Francis, Anthony.
16th.
Correct. St. Francis in control.
Explorers, 30.
Explorers for 30 points. Finishing off this category. Over a period of more than 30 years, this Muslim explorer visited most of the Islamic world and traveled in Central Asia, Southeast Asia, and China. That would be St. Francis, Anthony.
Fatua.
Correct.
Nth president, 15.
Nth president for 15. Andrew Johnson. St. Francis,
17th.
Chase. Excuse me?
17th.
Correct. After Lincoln. St. Francis in control.
Nth president, 30.
Finishing off this category, President Dwight David Eisenhower. North Baltimore, Garrett.
34th.
34th is correct, yes. North Baltimore back in control.
Human biology for 30.
Human biology for 30 points. What gland creates epinephrine? St. Francis, Anthony.
Adrenal.
Correct. St. Francis back in control.
Library, 10.
Library for 10 points. General name for the book section that includes encyclopedias, and that would be St. Francis, Anthony.
Reference.
Correct. St. Francis in control.
Library, 15.
Library for 15 points. Type of reference book where one could find a collection of maps. St. Francis, Chase.
Atlas.
Correct. St. Francis still in control.
Famous scientist for 10.
End of round. Let's take a look at our score. We have North Baltimore currently at 55 and St. Francis with 310 points. Coming up next is our brainstorm round where questions are worth 20 points apiece. Stay tuned. And welcome back to BGSU's Brain Game. North Baltimore 55, St. Francis 310 points. I look to my left and I see some substitutions. St. Francis, who's joined the team?
This is Logan Farshman, junior, and this is Ben Zizmansky, sophomore.
All right. Brendan, who has joined you in North Baltimore?
This is Abby. She's a senior.
All right. Welcome to you. This is our brainstorm round. All questions in this round are worth 20 points, but beware, negative 20 points for an incorrect answer. You may confer before buzzing in, but you cannot, I repeat, you cannot steal in this round. We'll move immediately to the next question. St. Francis, North Baltimore, are you ready for the brainstorm?
Yep.
3 minutes of brainstorm starts right now. Born in Paris in 1808, the third son of King Louis and Queen Hortense of Holland, served as the French emperor from 1852 to 1870. St. Francis, Anthony.
Napoleon III.
Correct. What American poet wrote the poem Richard Cory? North Baltimore, Garrett.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Incorrect. Edward Robinson. Which Shakespearean play features the witches' chant, double, double? St. Francis, Anthony.
Macbeth.
Correct. What scale measures the magnitude of an earthquake? St. Francis, Anthony.
Richter scale.
Richter scale, yes. There are 5 basic tastes that the tongue is sensitive to: sweet, salt, sour, bitter, and what? That would be St. Francis. Logan.
Spice.
Incorrect. Umami. I'm sorry, no buzzing in after. Umami is what we need. What is the capital of Alberta? North Baltimore. Brendan.
Texas.
Incorrect. Edmonton. Name the positively and negatively charged particles in the atom. North Baltimore. Garrett.
Electrons and protons.
Correct. What is the colored part of the eye called? North Baltimore. Brendan.
Iris.
Correct. What rhetorical device is used in the following sentence? They are crazy like a what? Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. North Baltimore. Brendan.
Simile.
Correct. Who was the first Prime Minister of Canada? End of time there. John MacDonald. What is the full name of the disease abbreviated MS? St. Francis, Anthony.
Multiple sclerosis.
Correct. These clouds are usually fluffy and often... North Baltimore. Brendan.
Cumulonimbus.
Incorrect. Cumulus cloud is what we needed there. The NSA is a government agency that monitors communications inside the United States and abroad. What does St. Francis, Ben?
National Security Agency.
Correct. Many people hike the East Coast Mountainous Trail that goes from Maine to Georgia. Name it. North Baltimore. Garrett.
The Appalachian Mountains.
Incorrect. Appalachian Trail. Identify the only element that is both radioactive and a superconductor. Its atomic symbol is Am. That will be St. Francis. Logan.
Americium.
Correct. What word in physics is used to describe speed in a known direction? That will be North Baltimore. Brendan.
Velocity.
Correct. A body's gravitational force is proportional to its what? St. Francis. Ben.
Mass.
Correct. Let's take a look at our score. We have North Baltimore at 95 points, and our winner with 430 points is St. Francis. Let's give both these teams a big round of applause. In the spirit of good sportsmanship, let's meet in the middle, shake hands, and we will see you at the next BGSU Brain Game.